several different routes that he'll use. And so, that's why I don't just join any kind of one camp and say, oh, this is the way it's going to be, this is the way it's going to be. I keep my views open and just watching everything. Because he doesn't even know what he's doing. If I thought for 1 minute that he had one certain route that he was going to come, I would stick to that route, blast it to the treetops, but he doesn't. He doesn't. You can look in the Bible codes and tell how indecisive he is, how apprehensive they are about even arriving and getting the show going in the last days. They don't know themselves. and which is a perfect setup, because then nobody can ever pinpoint exactly how they're going to do anything, because they don't know. They've got several different routes, and of course they all believe that they're part of the last, they're the in group that's going to bring Satan to power. That's how these Satan groups work. Keeps them in line, keeps them in tow, and Satan has his own way of keeping his humans they're his pawns in line. Because I hear from people all the time about how someone's born with the 666 marking in New Philly, and then one's over in Miami, and all these different little Satan groups around the United States, or they have the female that's Satan's daughter that could give birth to the Antichrist, and you know what? It's such hogwash. It's just to keep all these groups in line. They all think they're important to his last days plans. That's how he keeps them all in tow. They're spread out across the country. And so it gives them some kind of satanic self-importance, where they all just feel like they're important. They're the group to be in. They're the evil one. They don't consider themselves evil, but that's how it is. That's how it's just Hollywood crap. It's Hollywood stuff. I've had people tell me, I can tell you who it is in Miami, and I know where this person lives, and I heard the same thing about the one in New Philly and North Carolina, and you know what I just say to these people? I just say, you know what, this is the third or fourth I've heard already, And that's how you start to recognize how Satan works with all these different covens and groups, gives them all their own little self-importance thing, because they all think they've got the Antichrist in their group and he's going to come to power and all this. And it's like I was telling my mom the other day, the Antichrist isn't even human. It's not even a human. It's this Maitreya using a cloned body of Cain. Even if it was going to be a human, let's say it switched from the alien agenda to going back to the Illuminati agenda, George Bush could easily fulfill the role as Antichrist, because he's incarnated by Satan. He is schizophrenic. He channels Satan. He's all set up. He could perfectly be a perfect human model for the Antichrist, because he's already controlled by Satan, and he already thinks he's hearing from God. The Bible codes refers to him as schizophrenic. And so he could easily just go into some kind of a coma and then come back to life, and Satan having fully soul-scalped his body at that point, because I've talked about soul-scalping and how they take over a human body. George Bush would be a perfect candidate for that, because he's already halfway there. And then you have Hillary Clinton, who I think is probably Satan's daughter herself. And she's very high-ranking, and soul-scalped, and she'll be soul-scalped. I've seen that. And so, any one of these leaders, because you can't even get into a position of party leadership unless you're sold out to Satan. And that's why you have to sit back and bang your head up against the wall and think, why do these people think that there's this mystery Ron Paul who's going to come out of anywhere and lead America back to being America and get rid of the Satanists? He's just a part of the game, just a different charade of it. It's a different agenda. Cynthia McKinney, same thing. Dennis Kucinich, Cynthia McKinney, and Ron Paul, all considered as white knight politicians who are working the Nasara and alien agenda. You don't get into Congress unless you're working an agenda, an approved agenda by Satan. Especially running for president, you have to be one of them completely sold out. You have to be part of the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, and both of these organizations are globalist organizations, bringing about a global government and a global religion. And if their plan were to call for blowing up 10 American cities, they would do so, and not bat an eye, because their loyalty is not to America. Their loyalty is to this global governing of Satan on earth. That's where their loyalty is. And so if they have to blow up America, they would do so. Any one of these Satanists in these countries, the Queen Elizabeth, Putin over in Russia, all of these Satanists around the world. You know, if it calls Saddam Hussein, he gave up his country. He's soaking margaritas in Cuba or Russia. He's not dead. Bin Laden, probably both together vacationing somewhere. They're all globalists, and if they have to give up their countries, play their part, and then go off to the side or whatever, well, that's exactly what they do. You know. And that's exactly what Bush is doing. It's in his deck of cards, his hand, to destroy America. It started with Clinton. Well, started with George Bush Sr., went to Clinton, now it's with Jr., to destroy America. And that's what they've done. That's what they've done. They've destroyed America. Deplete the military, wipe out the middle class. They've done everything that they were scripted to do. Because they're all globalists. They're all in this Council of Foreign Relations, trilateralists. Satan rules. Satan's the ruler of the day, not American taxpayers, not Europeans, not Russians. It's Satan, and whatever Satan wants, Satan gets, and they're all bowing and worshiping Satan. And so, right now, you just look at the cards shifting deck across the world to see what's going on. Right now, the focus being in Israel, making Israel an international city, so that the Vatican can set up this, I don't know what they're going to do over there, their global religion. Because, the Vatican itself is going to be destroyed. I'm not talking about the Vatican as per se the Pope, but the Black Pope who runs the Vatican. Because the Black Pope position is Satan's seat on earth. And he is the one who controls the Vatican and the White Pope and the whole charade of a religion there in Italy. It's the behind-the-scenes Black Pope position that will be the one dominating Jerusalem. I don't believe it'll be the White Pope of today. In fact, the Vatican City itself today in Italy will probably be destroyed by Maitreya when he arrives. Maitreya is going to be on a rampage, folks. He's going to be on a rampage. And some of the cities that will probably be in his way, Paris, the Vatican, and then definitely the United States. He'll be coming after the Lord's people, especially because the welcome party we've had for him on his way here. And so I'll be a global takeover of Islam, and so I just don't put everything, all of your marbles, in these baskets of Protestant theology where they're waiting for things to happen a certain way, because I don't think they will. I'll read an email from a listener, 60 minutes here to 15 minutes segment last night about Joel Osteen. He's a beast prophet, folks. I assume this is another church of apostasy, yes. Maybe the fake graduate will be from this church since Houston is on the list. Joel Osteen, yeah, I think he's even on my page at beastprophets.com. This guy has never even had any kind of formal training other than mind control training. His self-help psychology that he pushes for religion. So yeah, you can read about him at beastprophets.com. Another listener, hey Sherry, when do you think Maitreya will arrive? Watch for him in next month in November. Watch for November, folks. If not this November of 2007, then I think we have a couple of months of breather. But he will be here in 2008, because 2008 is the famine year. And this Maitreya is the rider of the black horse, the famine horse. And so until he arrives, you have some breathing room. And so you need to be spending time stocking up on food and medicine and stuff like that. I don't think we'll